they cake up, now these wanna data. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch they at my nose. Long nights I just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo.
Thank you, Coach. From beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Miami Dolphins. The final playoff push is upon us. It's Week 12 of the NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now the former fourth-round pick, it's Kalen Balazs. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give the tackle there to Josh Norman.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Now Jackson on second down. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit! Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
Jackson on first down. Flush to his right. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Andrews. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. Rashawn Perriman, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Geis, his first carry of the game. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, there's nothing but room to run.
Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Umpire threw the flag, usually always indicates holding, and that's what we've got.
And you know, depending on their positioning, where you are on the field, the umpire's got different responsibilities, but always, always making sure no one's holding.
They'll come up now on a second and long after the hold.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. After the interception, here's Jackson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll make it a second down.
Watch him now, Barney.
Now Balaj. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
First foray into the red zone for Miami. 1st and 10 at the 19. Oh, that was dangerous. Threw it into coverage, almost picked. But instead, they'll keep it on second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Watch him now, Barney. Over.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He dumps it off to Drake. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kalen Balaj, his 9th touchdown of the season, and the Dolphins add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Fielded about a yard deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. Out comes Washington's offense. As they get set to take over here. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They start on the ground with Geis. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. A solid run on. First down, gain of 7, leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Lucky 56.
And now with the play clock winding down, Jason Garrett opts to take a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. They'll look to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Sheldon Richardson in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they had the touchdown during the last drive, and I'm guessing that you like the balance they had on that last drive.
And I loved it. Forget liking it. Absolutely love what they were doing because to be ahead of a defense that much, where every play call you have, run or pass, is working pretty well for you.
Makes you look like a genius.
It really does. It also lets you know that your preparation was pretty good, and now the defense has to do all the adjusting.
They'll start on the ground with Balaj. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
Watch him now, Barney!
Now it's Jackson. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. And he's a long ways into Washington territory before hitting the turf. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, brings me right out of my seat.
I know you feel that.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Balaj. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person that's on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there's another 1st down run right there.
He's got his man. It's Andrews. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly.
Let's go. Hey, we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Watch him now, Barney. All right, now, look at 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. His throw incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant, and it's 3rd down.
Now we got 3rd and goal coming up, and couldn't you imagine being in that huddle, partner? You know they're looking at each other saying, we can't come away with just 3 points after this drive.
Yeah, they've covered a lot of ground. They want more than that 3. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Detroit!
From the gun, Jackson. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
They had it 1st and goal, 3 attempts, couldn't get it in, so they settle for 3.
Yeah, the field tends to shrink a little bit the closer you get to the goal line, doesn't it? It doesn't sound right. It sounds a little counterintuitive. But you run out of space to run the deep routes, so they can just sit on the shorter stuff if you're going to throw it. If you want to run it, there's just not as much space. They end up having to take 3 there.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it on the first drive.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into 1st downs and hopefully points.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs, and they come up on 2nd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And the Dolphins getting set to go here. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. He's going to rifle one deep left. And that's caught inside the 35. An excellent pickup of 34 yards.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the toss, here's Balaj. They'll get it to the 23-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We'll come back to Miami after this. They'll run here with Balaj. Open space inside the 10. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kalen Balaj with his 2nd touchdown here in this 1st half. And the Dolphins are able to grow their lead. Sanders on for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that pushes the lead up to 23. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the 1st half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, nearly a disaster there on the check down. But they'll get it back.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
We'll check it down to Geis. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Gun. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And it's third down.
Well, one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
And what did we talk with them about prior to the game? Their ability to move the chains, pick up first downs. So far, 0 for 3 on third down. If that continues, they'll have little chance of winning this one.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Now let's see how the offense still out there. They elect to go on 4th and 11. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins defense is able to hold. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
He's going to look deep down the field. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10. And he comes back with one complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. This quarterback now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Check three.
To throw is Jackson. Throw right side to Perriman, and it's caught. And the timeout comes in with 2 seconds remaining. So they can trot out the field goal unit for the try before we hit the lockers. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first, this one from 40 yards out. The kick by Sanders is good. So the two teams will head to the locker rooms here in Miami with the Dolphins on top. As we go up to Orlando now and hand it over to Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Redskins offense now, they get set to take over here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution? Or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. But he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Gun! Keep playing hard, fellas, all day. Woo! Let's get it. Watch it now, Barney. Gun!
Now back to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
So in their own territory, but they only need a few inches, so they're going to opt to go for this thing. We'll see. Maybe a surprise pass or run. What will they do? We're about to find out. 4th down. They'll run for it. Geis. And this is going to be nowhere close. Needed some inches and ended up losing yardage. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Dolphins get the football in great field position. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They run it with Balaj. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23. Yard line.
Yeah, baby, boom! Two times. Four down.
Again, it's Balaj. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Calling a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave them with a 3rd and about 5. And the Redskins have an extra man in the secondary here on 3rd.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he takes it down to the 13 and picks up the 1st. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. This quarterback now 12 of 16 thus far. It's 1st and 10. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here.
Over!
They'll stay on the ground. Balaj again.
Okay, no score on that play, but this guy's been a touchdown machine all year long. You know they trust him with the football.
They'll try to run it, and he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Lamar Jackson, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control.
Partner, it wasn't that long ago that when I talk with these NFL coaches about different innovations in the college game, you can see their eyes roll and they just shut down right away. Don't bring me that Joe College stuff. Well, guess what? The college game has definitely infiltrated its way into the NFL.
Yeah, and these guys, when you're seeing the option defensively, you got to stick to your assignments. I know that's cliche. They didn't do it there.
And option football means exactly what you just talked about, assignment football for defenders. And that drives them crazy because you have to think your way through a play as opposed to just reacting and making the play.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Over the middle, complete. That's Campbell. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. On 1st down, this is Geis. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. They'll drop to throw. He'll get this one complete to Davis. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another 1st down. Now after the run by Geis, here's 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a 1st down again.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route, it's extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
That's it, baby. Leopard! Leopard! 57 Mike. Mike 57. Let's go one more. Check it backer, check it backer. Leopard! Leopard! Hey, we gotta get to the ball, team. We gotta get to the ball. Let's keep moving.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Thompson, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins are able to close the gap just a bit. Hopkins with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football into the Redskins. Have it, they do. And maybe that one caused by the weather. Of course, the rain coming down. Charles, can you maybe, when you're carrying that football, grip it too tight in the rain?
I think that you can, and it's such a delicate balance, too, because when you grip it so tight, sometimes it'll slip out from your body. You squeeze it too hard, and it'll pop out on its own. I've actually had running backs talk to me about that, and when they've tried too hard, even in perfect conditions, the ball gets away from them. They've got to find that good balance, carrying it firmly, yet at the same time under control.
Looking to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
The Redskins on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. They'll set up a throw. And he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. That one good for 15 and a first.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
No, check, Patriot! Leopard!
They stay on the ground, Geis again. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. They come up in an offset eye. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Dustin Hopkins now for the Redskins field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Oh, and now he bowls him over. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Dolphins first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And now running right through it. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And on the ground they go with the running back. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. Now it's Jackson. That is caught. It's Perriman. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And what can they do here on 2nd and goal? 3 red zone trips so far have yielded 2 touchdowns and a field goal. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
He'll get it up the middle. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A nice run there as he picks up 6. It's going to be 3rd and goal now.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Well, they've been so good on 3rd down all day long. Can they convert another here on 3rd and goal? Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Or are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Miami, they get win number 10 on the year as they move to 10-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Pittsburgh Steelers come to town. Meanwhile, for Washington, they've fallen out of things now as they sink to 3-8. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday afternoon at around 3:30 Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Dallas.